The Paul Leslie Interviews.
We're backstage at the Tabernacle in Atlanta with Tom Freund. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, sir. This is a real treat.
I enjoyed the show.
Thank you very much. You got here in time and everything?
Yeah, you know, it was a wild night. We kept thinking,
packed house in there.
Yeah, we kept thinking, you know, I don't think this is going to work, but here we are.
Brilliant, man. I'm glad we connected.
One of the songs you played tonight is called Copper Moon, and you played it with Ben Harper.
Yeah, it was nice. Very nice. I got actually really moved tonight. Thinking about this location, the Tabernacle or something. It was church-like in there tonight or something. I don't know.
Well, you know, this was a former church.
I got a little choked up.
Last night I was playing that song Copper Moon, and for me it invoked a lot of imagery. And actually, this is kind of interesting. My dog was howling to that song.
You're kidding me. So those high ethereal sounds made me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the significance of the Copper Moon.
Well, I guess it's a special place. I grew up on, spending summers in Long Island on Fire Island, New York. It's called. And it had a lot to do with a friend who's passed on. Actually took his life when we were all really young, and it was weird because he was kind of a mentor for us, you know. So it was. I think I was really feeling him tonight too.
I just got one more for you tonight. I want to thanks again to Ben Harper and Company for having me. Oh, look at this. I don't know. Just a slice of copper moon over the ocean blue, to hear my whining only tune, to strike a chord that brings me to you. There was a time when the only trouble was deciding what trouble to get in. We'd go to town and get caught on a whim, in taxis at the game arcade, flippers in a hand, listening to the soft parade on the sand. And through one door, out the other, I guess we'll keep this old house on the edge of to calm down and run back to our sheltered homes and pretend there was no one. Draw your name in the sand so you can see from wherever you are that I'm thinking about you and me. And I know you're out there over the ocean blue, under the guise of that copper moon. Just a copper, that little copper moon. Just a copper, that little copper moon. In through one door, out the other. That's Ben Harper. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you around soon. Come say hello about my CDs and stuff.
That was Tom Freund with his eerie but wonderful song Copper Moon that was recorded live in Atlanta at the Tabernacle, and Ben Harper sat in on that. Now we're going to go back to our conversation with Tom Freund. This was backstage at the Tabernacle. I had never heard a cellular duet before.
I know. I wanted to be the first to write that on a CD, actually.
So what gave you the idea to do that?
It really wasn't me at all. It was really funny. So we were at this Sweet Relief benefit, which is a great organization, and I started to play the last song. Hey. And I started playing. I said, I'm going to do this song with Victoria. Now, Victoria Williams, who really started the whole thing, she had gotten sick right before this gig, and I was going to do it with her. And I said, I was going to do it with Victoria, but I'm just going to do it alone. And the guy running the whole show says, hey, wait a second. He got her on a cell phone on a microphone. So that's what that is. And really, kind of people were really freaking out. Kind of landed.
As I mentioned earlier, you were joined on stage for the Copper Moon song by Ben Harper.
That's right.
So I know that you guys go back a while with the Pleasure and Pain album from Ben Harper. So how did you meet Ben?
We had a mutual friend in Claremont, California, where I was going to school, and Ben was fixing guitars at this folk music center that his grandparents owned, and obviously playing too. He was just starting his playing out, but not really much, you know. And we had a mutual friend who's like, you guys got to meet, and both Ben and I were kind of like, whatever. Yeah, okay, maybe. Both had plans later on just in case it didn't work out, you know. I think we got together at 8 at night at the Folk Music Center where there's a bunch of guitars. We started playing. I don't think we left till about 5:30 a.m. the next morning. Just rocked and hit it off, and we're like pretty inseparable for a long time after that, and made that album Pleasure and Pain in that same kind of spirit.
And I want to talk a little bit about the Sweet Affection album. 50% of the sales go to Sweet Relief.
That's right.
And so tell us a little bit about what inspired that.
First of all, I was a giant fan of Victoria Williams, one of my favorite singers of all time, really. I mean, I think she's one of the most unique and cool singers ever. So that's how I first heard about it. I bought that Sweet Relief. You know, I knew her stuff, and then I remember when Sweet Relief came out, and there were all these great bands doing her songs like Pearl Jam and R.E.M. And then all of a sudden I found myself in a position where I was jamming. I was playing this gig out in Joshua Tree, actually, California. It was a tribute to Graham Parsons. And I'm playing along. I'm actually playing Olden in the Way, the song you mentioned, which has got words like hallelujah in it and stuff. And she comes running on stage. She goes, I love that hallelujah song. And she just starts jamming with me on a nylon guitar and starts singing. Meanwhile, it's a dream of mine. You know, I'm like a big fan of hers. And ever since then, we've managed to do some recordings and some jamming. I played on a couple of her records, Creek Dipper records and her records. And then this live concert came up to benefit Sweet Relief, and it was recorded, and I thought the recording came out really special. So I wanted to have kind of like the concept of a half live album and maybe 3 new studio tracks. And she's on one of the studio tracks, too, a song called Gentleman of the Shade.
I know going out on the road, you end up picking up all kinds of music, and you end up meeting all kinds of people. So what have you been listening to lately? What's caught your ear?
God, what were we listening to today? We heard some good stuff today, didn't we? I was really digging the Derek Trucks thing. I knew nothing about the guy, the son of Butch Trucks, and he played a Miles Davis cover that was mind-blowing.
You just made my day.
He did a version of So What that was gorgeous, man. I couldn't believe it. I had no idea. I was kind of thinking, okay, kind of jammy kind of thing, but it was like so focused and good. And got some Ray LaMontagne came on after. I like the way he delivers. And I'm trying to focus on new stuff because, you know, I listen to a fair share of Joni Mitchell and Led Zeppelin still.
Righteous tunes. The Derek Trucks part stays.
All right, good. I like it.
So what's on the horizon? What's coming up with you?
The concept after this tour is this is a big opportunity for me, obviously, reaching all these people. The Ben Harper fans are unbelievable, too. Like some of the really music lovers and real listeners. And the concept for me is probably to hit the same areas maybe 2 or 3 months after with my own like trio and hit some clubs in town, you know. Probably not these size venues, probably just kind of clubs and try to rally these people that have signed up on my email list and try to keep some momentum going there.
This program goes out all over the world.
Excellent.
So this is your moment. This is a question I have to ask. What would you, Tom Freund, like to say to the world?
Wow. Let me take a sip of wine. Be careful, be safe, be loving. Don't hate your neighbor. Do the dishes. Recycle products. And I don't know. Keep making good music, everyone, or listening, or whatever you do to be a part of that music.
Folks, www.tomfreund.com. That's Tom, Freund.com. Thanks so much, Tom.
Thank you, partner. I appreciate it.
One love.
One love.